We have arrived. Oh, yes, we have arrived.
Did I really make it? I did.
We
I
thought we
did.
were
I made
going to
it.
be on the moon. We thought we were going to be on the moon, and all we got was Earth.
Oh, can you hear me?
But we're still alive. Life seems to be not that much of a consolation for folks these days.
Oops, sorry. I honestly missed most of that. I was in the blockchain a little bit.
No worries. um, I guess life is what you get when you come in second place. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. My goodness, man. Well,
It,
let's
in
talk.
a lot of you ever heard of odd lot theory?
No.
Odd lot theory says that if you look at an order book for investments and you find the people that are buying in small amounts, bet against those people if you want to win.
Really?
It's called the odd lot theory. People who buy in odd lots don't know what the fuck they're doing, so bet against them.
Ah, ah. That's
It's pretty
that.
dark,
That
but if there's
echoes.
a theory for it and it has a name, you understand?
That echoes Warren Buffett's assessment that if you're diversifying, it means you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty heavily weighted towards manufacturing. And what, don't they own like 90% of manufacturing in the US?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like Berkshire ownership
Wait,
of US manufacturing.
I don't have a lot of time,
Hmm.
but I want to ask
Mm-hmm.
how did it go yesterday with Ninja?
Oh, it was great. We got along
Sounded
like
like
we
it went
like.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. He has a very strong background. Like the dude was at Accenture,
Yeah.
managing contracts. Like it's not a inexperienced person.
No.
Although although he speaks casually, and I think
Yes.
a lot of people probably miss that when they
Yes.
talk to him
Yes.
because they're like, "Yo, what's going on, man? Oh, things are cool, right?"
Yep.
But that guy
Yep.
can take it as far as you want to take it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep. He's living the life of a degen idiot, but he's not really.
He may. There are other degen idiots may present the same affectation initially.
Yeah. And it was one of the things that surprised me the most as I went through the micro cap cultures, because you'd have all these conversations where you're listening to the
Micro
conversation.
cultures.
You like that? Uh, it's
It really,
true.
it really is a digital lottery ticket at this point, isn't it?
Kinda.
Dude,
But
I see people pull scratch tickets and make more money at the corner store.
well, it's weird because you'll get into these communities and it'll be just a couple hours of idiocy, and there will be that one fucker in the crowd who's got this
Oh yeah,
genius
yeah.
intellect.
Well, now you're a recruiter. If you decided to do what you just described full time, you're now a recruiter. There's a room full of people. If you talk to all of them, they're experts. None of them are inexperienced, and they're all billionaires,
Mm,
right? And your job is to figure out which one isn't lying to me.
right.
Not which one is lying to me, which one isn't. Very
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
It's a different error.
That.
Type 1, type 2.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's
But it tests your it tests all of your preconceived notions of what intelligence looks like.
mm-hmm. I was always a halfway decent student of the theory of seven intelligences, and just the concept that you can be brilliant in spatial intelligence and have
Right.
zero interpersonal intelligence. Like that type of stuff is.
The one who talks about modalities. So there's kinesthetic, which is touch, auditory, hearing, read, write, which is text, and visual, which is, imagery, you know? And so depending on who the person is, you put them in the wrong modality,
Yeah.
they're going to sing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
If you put Daredevil in the wrong fight, he's going to get fucked.
Yeah.
Right? You put Wolverine in the wrong fight, put Wolverine against most people, but then when you have Magneto, it's like, it's not a good look.
No, you totally. So you're telling me you're made of metal. Interesting. It should be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like if superhero comics were in real life, Wolverine would have died in the 5th episode. Right? What happened to Wolverine? Oh, he's just a bit character. He was made out of metal. How could he last? His enemy only controls metal.
The thing
he's made of. That's an interesting parallel to what's happening right now. If you read Palmer's 7 laws of business or 7 powers, it's scale economy. Scale wins 9 times out of 10. And what we're seeing is that if you want to have a project, even if it's in the tens of billions, scale economies can still feast and eat your lunch.
Yeah.
Right? Just like Netflix can produce House of Cards over and over and over again because they can just, increase the monthly fee. So it's hard to compete with them on content creation because of the scale.
I think the most bitter pill to swallow here is the recognition that what happened in Terra Luna, by the rules of the stock market,
people haven't gotten to grips with what you realized on Sunday yet. They don't know. They think this is just a Terra Luna thing.
No.
You saw what happened to Blitz Finance?
No.
Blitz Finance was a lending protocol. They didn't update their Luna Oracle, and now they're done.
Oh, no.
It's BLIZZ Finance. It's happened with a few places that didn't update their Oracle because they didn't expect Luna to go under a certain amount of decimals. And then when it did, people were able to go in, buy up Luna, use that lower decimal Luna to loan the entire pool of money. Oh no. Swear to God, it's happening right now.
Oh.
So you understand what people think this is a Luna Terra thing. This is an entire asset class in DeFi kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, did you see that somebody was trying to shake the UST peg?
Well, this is the asset class. Once you've proven out, right, the theory, then it's just a calculation away.
Yeah.
And I imagine that they're not just doing this for the one-time gain, right? This strategy, if it's true, which so far
will be repeated, yep.
Can be repeated just by applying more and more, and that's why scale economies win. If you're playing a game that involves value, it's like playing chess against somebody else who has all queens. Checkmate.
That's
what?
Awesome.
I thought those were pawns. Nah, it's queens. You want to play chess? I think I'll go back to checkers. Oh, I have all kings over here. What?
Totally.
You have kings in chess too? Shit. Because you're competing against an all-star team if you want to compete in the realm of money. So now, if you figure out something else to do, right?
So like something like 5 months, 6 months ago, something like that. Me and this guy Near were talking, and I came to this kind of epiphany. I'm like, we keep on talking about our tokenomics and the assets and pools. By
the way, before you finish, I just want you to read this thing at the top, which was written in 2018, because people saw this 4 years ago. Look at this commentary. This was not a known unknown for people on the inside. 4 years ago? So one imagines they were waiting 4 years to make this money.
Mm.
4 years ago.
That
These
hurts.
are not unknown unknowns. I mean, like, oh, I wonder how they came up with this. They must be no. 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and this was what's public. They'd be like, "Hey, bitch, shut the fuck up. We need this thing to go to 10 billion so we can make enough money."
Oh,
It sounds like she knew enough to tank this project if she had the right backers. 4 years ago.
oh, that hurts.
So when I heard you talking about tokenomics, it's like, the tokenomics were known, right?
I mean,
They were
that's
actually known.
that's beyond the tokenomics.
This is the man in the arena, the coin in the arena.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
different.
Yep.
This is like fucking Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, right?
So, like, me and you were talking about how small crypto actually is. And I was using the analogy, we were saying, like, we keep on talking about this as though we are masters of our little pond and we represent great size in comparison to our pond. But in reality, we are in a little tiny raft in the middle of the ocean with no help.
Ever read Gladwell's David versus Goliath? The premise was that if you understood, because Gladwell's Jewish, if you understood how savvy David was, or the people like David were with their slingshots, you'd recognize that Goliath stood no chance. The only difference is that David didn't try to pick up Goliath's sword, right? If David tried to fight Goliath with Goliath's own tools, we wouldn't know who David was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people, I take for granted, I used to teach finance so that you could get licensed to sell product in Toronto 10 years ago. And I got out of the industry because I understood what the retail guillotine was. And it's not an informidable foe.
Mm-mm.
And if you're going to go up against it using that which they have the most strength in, how many at bats? How long can you last?
Not long.
How long can you last if you're going to play a game? It's like Sun Tzu. You have to choose the terrain. You want to choose the terrain where they have all the high ground. Good luck.
Yep. Well, morning, Aaron. How you doing, bud? So yeah,
Dude, that post from 4 years ago tells me that people who knew what they were really doing could have done this any time they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime.
So what do we as these small fries do?
Well, personally, what I've been doing over the past year is building actual businesses. Because the thing is, I've been around this space for so long, and I was in finance long before, right? Before that, actually selling product, that I didn't trust any of these, although I was invested and I'm still holding, right? I'm holding Zilliqa, I'm holding Bitcoin, I'm holding Ethereum, and I've been holding
Mhm.
it for like as long as I've known about the space and figured out how to own it, right? Hard wallet, the whole thing, right? And my thesis is I want to buy only things that I can fall asleep on and wake
Yep.
up in 10 years. That's it. Anything else is I don't have the time for. And besides, if you look at the data, only 4% of hedge funds beat the S&P index over a span of
Sure.
15 years. That's
Yep.
why I left the industry, right? I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that mutual funds and seg funds and all these funds lose against just buying what's already the,
Yep.
NBA of
Yep.
stocks. So
Yep.
what the fuck are we selling then? And that's why I left. I'm like, hold on. So I'm going to sell this, and then I don't even know if you're going to stay solvent. The thing is, I never wanted to be strung up by my balls by clients that lost all their money because some company decided to be,
Oh
you know,
man.
play loose and wild with their reserves. And
I
that's what I was
gotta
seeing in 2011.
I gotta tell you, working in the mortgage industry for so long,
Oh,
and going through a 3-month process to close a home, and oh, you spend so much time with them on the phone, and finally you close, and it's all hugs, and everyone's so happy, and then
hmm
a year later they're calling you, hey, can I get a break on this? It's really tough life, it's hard, I need help. Like, dude, that's the part about the job that I hate the most. I'm basic. That's why I take a consultative approach, and you'll never hear me like, "Come on, I got the lowest rates. Come on, make an application." You did it because I no,
yeah.
it's too
Well,
dangerous.
and I think that's what separates a lot of people right now. A lot of people, there are two types of people right now. Some people that have been through a crash and people that haven't. And that people who haven't seen multiple crashes, like you would have had to be in a part of the reason I got into finance is because of the crash and because I wanted to put people in vehicles that would allow them to retire. So we have something called seg funds in Canada, and seg funds are essentially an insurance contract that allows you to invest. But the difference is that if you hold it for over 10 years, it's backed by the government 75 to 100%, right? Because it has a federal insurance. So
Mm-hmm.
I was moving people into that, knowing, expecting another crash. Because I was like, if this is going to crash again, I need to make sure that no matter what happens, their money's backed up. And so
Mm-hmm.
I found a product that allowed them to invest in the market, yet have a minimum guarantee if they held at least 7 years. I'm like, all right, so you have about 10 years to retirement. Hold this. I don't expect any of this shit to stay up, so at least you can be insured. And hopefully the
Mm-hmm.
government of Canada is still standing when you retire. But I cannot be
Mm-hmm.
assured of that. Because you look at Greece. What separates Greece from us? They invented fucking democracy.
Ah,
If the people who invented democracy can go belly up, look, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Cautious.
yeah,
And this was me 10
yeah.
years ago. Can you believe they kept it going for 10 years? If you ask me if that would be like, yo, 2013, this shit is done. 2014, totally over. We're in 2022. They kept this
Right.
going for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's impressive, like slow clap. How'd you do it? You know, how'd you do
Slow
it?
clap.
Yeah, it's like the
It's the
federal.
financial slow clap.
You know
That's
who
awesome.
Do Kwon learned how to print more Luna from the Federal Reserve. I think the Federal Reserve and Do Kwon have printed the same amount of money, respectively. No,
uh, so, this guy
but
Odie.
you're right to pause. Right, you're right to hold fast and be like, look, if this can happen here, right? What is the
Hmm.
attack surface of my portfolio vis-a-vis
Yes.
this 0 day attack vector that's now being identified? If
Hmm.
anything can be depegged, is it possible for any algorithmic stablecoin to exist beyond one backed by a government who Goldman Sachs won't decide to dip? But
You know,
then again, like it doesn't have to be a Goldman Sachs; it could be a Soros, right? So
so
even individual actors, yeah.
there was this video I watched. The guy, one of the founding members of USDT. and I didn't really like the video because it was kind of a commercial for USDT.
Right.
But one of the things he said was that an algorithmic stablecoin could be functional if it was backed 3-1.
And that's what those black guys were laughing about. They were like, "You're trying to build an algorithmic stablecoin without Citadel or BlackRock? Good luck." That's what
Right?
their point was, right?
Yep. Yep.
Tether is because they have the hedge fund mafia behind them, and they're all in on it,
I wonder
right?
if you could run a micro modeling of a stable coin and peg it to a penny. And with $100, you could start a stable penny.
Well, I think what you would need, to be honest with you, is you would need to war game these scenarios out. None of these projects, like if you're a cybersecurity company, you war game your cybersecurity, right? You actually hire black hat people to come in and say, "Hey, fuck with this.
Yep.
Please fuck with this."
Right.
Right? That happens every day in cybersecurity. They call it risk assessments. You know, and the challenge here is that even if the risk assessments get done, there is no guarantee that someone's going to follow, right?
Mhm.
You know what?
Take your call, Michael.
Yeah, you understand. We'll talk soon.